Travis.
And I'm Emma.
And this is Bestie Approved. What's the last song you listened to?
Oh, I don't even have to look. I know for a fact it was The Subway by Chappell Roan because I swear to God, I'm hitting those notes every time I'm in the car.
I love that.
I'm getting signed soon. Watch out.
Mine is Love Bites by Nelly Furtado and how do you say it? It's not Tuvlo. How do you say it?
Tovlo.
No, it's like Tuvelo.
Tovelo.
I don't remember.
I don't know. She's like in a bunch of songs you don't realize that she's in.
She's also like, I guess like a really talented writer too.
Yeah.
Like, what was the girl that wrote Bonnie McKee or whatever her name was that wrote a ton of songs for like really famous artists? Like she's like that. Yeah. Which I love. But I'm really glad Nelly Furtado is making a comeback.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to complain about today is the comment section under Nelly Furtado's latest live performance.
Oh, okay. Are we jumping right into complaining then?
We can.
I'm still moving stuff to next week. Dear listener, just know that Emma and I have a shared note of it's the most chaotic stream of thoughts, to be 1,000% honest with you, but I find myself adding things randomly every time I see a TikTok, just like with a thing that's like that just says what in the actual fuck next to it constantly. So that's what we're working with today, but we're going to jump right into complaining. So Emma, take it away.
My pregnancy update can also just be complaining. My back hurts. My hips hurt. I'm over it, and I still have allegedly 18 weeks left. I'm over it. Well, 17 by the time you hear this. But still, I'm done. I'm ready. I can't do it. Okay, but getting into what I actually want to complain about, I see Nelly Furtado performing live, looking stunning, looking
as incredible as she did in 2003.
Yes, just a little older and perhaps a little larger because she's 20 years older. And all of the comments, all of them were either calling her fat or people trying to defend her against the people calling her fat. Are you people okay? Like, are you okay? She looks so good. She's literally stunning. Her voice has never been better. I could not believe what I was seeing. If you have not seen this on TikTok, all you have to look up is Nelly Furtado. It is insane, actually.
I struggle with this because...
How?
No. I struggle with, like, this idea that, like, people need to look the same as they did forever. Like, it's clinically impossible. I mean, like, you've got Kim Kardashian, who doesn't look the same way she looked in 2007, and no one's batting an eye at that.
She has never looked the same 2 years in a row.
Right. But, like, you have Nelly Furtado, who...
Has children, dropped off the radar for a while, like, whatever. And then she makes a comeback, and it's like, did you think she was going to look the same that she looked when she was 22 years old singing I'm Like a Bird? It's
like I struggle with that, like that entire mindset. Like, what are you holding on to?
Well, it's like, I don't know. You have people like Dolly Parton. She's aged, but she looks relatively the same, just older, and people don't say anything. It's the people feel the freedom to comment on people's weight, and I'm over it. I think it's disgusting. And I agree. Also, this is why we have an Ozempic epidemic where you have people who are 150 pounds taking Ozempic. These celebrities who don't need it, and now they look weird.
Well, so we'll get into the Ozempic thing eventually because I struggle with... It's a little bit of a Pandora's box thing for me with the Ozempic thing where it's like, okay, we have found... ostensibly a medicine that is reversing an obesity epidemic. It is they found incredible use cases for
diabetes,
for addiction, for anti-aging benefits, because they're calling it the fountain of youth now because it's actually slowing down like cellular aging. They've found it's slowing.
I am so happy for the people who are benefiting from it genuinely.
Sure.
But I've seen so many celebrities who are not even on the verge of overweight, and they just look awful. Awful.
It's the Ozempic face. That's what it's the face that you get with Ozempic.
It's their whole bodies. Who was it? I don't even want to like say who I think it was, because I don't think it's cool that we think it's free reign to comment on people's weight and bodies, especially women. But like, you're too skinny. And what I fear is going to happen is we fall back into heroin chic.
That does scare me a little bit.
And we have eating disorders out the wazoo. Girls who haven't eaten in 4 days. Like, I can't.
Well, it's scary because there's going to come a point in time where people say, well, there's no excuse. Like, you should be skinny. Like, you've got...
That's another point I want to make about that, actually.
Go ahead.
With the Ozempic thing, with it being, like, pretty readily available.
And so easily accessible.
If you have insurance, and if you don't have insurance and you need the money to pay for it, it's going to be a poor man's disease to be fat.
Oh.
That is what I fear.
Okay.
That's just what I see, because it's
no,
like,
that's a fair point. But the other side of that too is, I was talking to my doctor, the one Nancy works at, the American hero that saved the children from a fire.
Right.
I think about her a lot. But that doctor that she works for was talking about how what they're starting to find is like the compounding pharmacies that we've known people to go through to get semaglutide and tirzepatide. It's all counterfeit, every bit of it. And like, I don't understand how that's even possible.
My mom works in pharmaceuticals, in production, not like at a pharmacy. Compounding pharmacies are a problem.
Oh, yeah.
They are a huge problem, and they're not regulated the way that other places
they don't fall
that
under
make
FDA
the real
guidelines.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary. Very scary. And there are some people who are like, well, I have to get my medicine from this compounding pharmacy. It's like the only place to get it or whatever.
Well, so I had the same thing when I was, when I had to be on testosterone because my body simply wasn't producing enough of it. And it's impossible to get it from a regular pharmacy. Yeah. So I don't know what the answer to it is. And like, I struggle with this whole conversation around like where you should and shouldn't be getting medications, because I think that it speaks to a larger issue that is the broken medical system in the United States.
Well, yeah, it's just a symptom of the actual disease that's happening.
But I also believe that like you should not be able to open the doors of a business and buy, and this is not anything other than like what research has shown us. We are finding that fake medication is coming out of certain regions of Asia, and you shouldn't be able to buy that and sell that in a pharmacy to people that are desperate for medication. That's fucking insane to me.
You're gonna give a sugar pill to someone who thinks they're taking an aspirin, but they're diabetic, and then they spike, and now what? Is the compounding pharmacy gonna pay that ER bill?
No, because you can't get them.
Right. It's just so weird. I don't understand why it's allowed. Anyway, moving on. What do you want to complain about?
What am I complaining about? Have you noticed that stores are getting rid of baskets?
Literally, no. I saw that. I saw that you put that in the note, and I was like, okay. But I just used a basket at Meijer.
Okay, the Meijer by your house has them. The Meijer on East Washington Street and the Meijer in Southport do not have them anymore.
Not to generalize, but are we sure they're not being stolen?
I
don't know.
Maybe they are. I don't know. But like Okay, so like, when you go into a store, this is what I'm complaining about, dear listener. You go into a store and you have the option of either a cart or a basket. And I prefer to get the basket. And the Kroger and Nora's the same way. They don't have the baskets anymore. So I find myself, I don't like carts because, and this is a peek into my neurodivergence. I can't handle a cart that, like, if the wheel on it is like bumpy, I cannot, it's a trigger for me.
You just test it right by the line of carts, and if it's wonky, you get a different cart. That's what I do every single time.
But, like, you've never been walking through the store and it just starts getting bumpy?
No, is this a because I've, like, done it back and forth 5 times by the carts. And I will not take a cart. I watch the wheels. I know what to look for. When I'm testing my carts at the Whole Foods, at the Meijer, anywhere.
People are tuning out so hard right now.
I feel like people understand this. I test my carts. So if you ever see like a stray cart that's just like by the rest of the carts, never use it.
Okay.
Never use it. Someone decided it was not worthy.
Okay, well, so maybe you'll start testing my carts, but because I can't handle a bumpy wheel. And so what I've resorted to is literally like anything my little arms can carry is what I end up buying, and that's just where we're at.
I hate a basket because it gets so heavy. I guess you're not like carrying a purse. I always have my big ass 20-pound purse, and so if I have a basket full of stuff in my other arm, like I am weighed down. I am not happy.
That is a lot for a woman that has like a purse and a whole thing. It's a lot. And you always have a fairly big purse.
One thing about me, I love a big purse.
You do.
I've always been that way. Even like in high school when I had a backpack, I needed a big purse too.
See, I love a belt bag. I love more than anything a Lululemon belt bag.
I've started using mine more. But like, even when I use my belt bag, my whole purse is in my car. And I just take what I want from my purse and put it in my belt bag.
It's probably not a bad idea. Bag. So, like, you don't have too much in your bag with you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
We don't have well, because we moved a lot to the next couple of weeks, but, we'll start with what I've found myself falling in love with. Do you get I know I've sent them to you before, so I don't know if it's changed your algorithm. Do you get like the random videos like from prisoners in Idaho on TikTok?
No.
Oh.
I see a lot of videos of prisoners on Twitter, but not on TikTok.
So my TikTok feed is full of them because it knows I'm single and I love a guy that looks like he'd go to prison. Like, let's just call it what it is. But they keep showing up on my For You page, and it's like, hey, I'm this guy. I'm getting out in like 8 months. Write me a letter. And it's like always for that app that you can put money on or whatever. And like,
yeah.
I have found myself like, do I send JPay? That's what, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, do I send them money? Like, do I tell them I'm in love with them because they're so hot?
No. But also, I thought they weren't supposed to have phones.
No, it's like, I think it's like a little video booth or something they have set up because it's always from the same perspective. It's always in the same place.
Like, what account is it even on? I've never looked. Like, do they have the...
hang on, I'll tell you exactly what it's called. It's called Prison Friendship.
Right. I knew that it was, like, not their individual accounts.
No, it's like one thing that keeps posting all of them, but they're all, like, look at this man. He's so hot.
I will have you know you're not the only person to do that. They're, like, it's a common thing with, like, serial killers and people who have done really awful things. They'll, like, get girlfriends via letters. Like, people will write them fan letters.
Oh,
and that's been happening for decades.
I don't want a murderer. I want someone who's like in prison for like maybe petty theft or something.
Right.
Or like,
ooh, a car thief.
A Grand Theft Auto or like securities fraud. I could deal with that.
Ugh, so boring.
I mean, I don't want violent criminals. Like, unless it's like standing up for like
tax evaders. I would.
Yeah, I don't care about that. So, like, yeah.
You didn't know.
Listen, dear listener.
It's hard to be a grown-up.
It's hard to file your taxes. Dear listener, if you know any hot prisoners, please send them my way. It's Travis at travisandemma.com.
Listen, it's fine.
Sure. What else? What else is on the list?
So, okay. I like both of these questions and I want to answer both of them.
Okay.
I want to know what colors you think math, English, social studies, and science are.
Well, science was always green.
Okay.
Social studies was blue.
No.
English was... Oh, no, I'm sorry. English was blue. Social studies was yellow. Math was red. Right?
So wildly incorrect to me.
Okay, what were
yours?
But
we're talking about, like, what folder you would use for each class. Like, it's a very individual question.
No, my school... so this popped up on TikTok, and, like, people are, like, fighting in the comments about it. My school, like, you had...
You had to do that?
Yes, like, teachers mandated which folders were which colors.
I wish you could tell me what folder I have to use. No. So science is green for sure. And it was always like, I don't know why every green folder is like a loud chartreuse of a green. But anyway, English is purple. Math is blue. Social studies is red.
Okay.
Because that is how my brain works.
But, like, your school didn't tell you what colors to be...
No, I wish they would. They stopped being that specific after, like, elementary school.
No, this was a thing clear up until, like, probably my sophomore year of high school. And then... Because I remember I had a Captain America folder that, like, I got... Like, it got sent home with me. And the way that my papa, like, threw a fit with Mr. Lindsay being like, you're out of your ever-loving mind. Like, this was... probably 5th or 6th grade, but like he was just like, you were out of your ever loving mind if you think that like this is acceptable. But yeah, no, like it was like this was a mandated thing.
Why they would do that? I mean, I guess if you're keeping them at school, but like we carried all of our stuff around.
I don't know. Triton was weird about a lot of things.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
I remember I had one year these folders that like if you rub them with a pencil, it would go, and if you shifted it, like the picture on it shifted.
I hated those with every fiber of my being because I couldn't handle the sound they made.
The noise was really bad.
It was really bad.
It was really bad. Okay.
Did you ever get in trouble for having trapper keepers at school? We weren't allowed to have trapper keepers, like the zipper things.
I never saw anyone get in trouble for it, but on the on our school supply list, it would say all caps and bold, no trapper keepers.
Yeah, and
what is
I never
the
got that.
problem with the trapper keeper? I don't understand it.
What
is a trapper keeper?
A trapper keeper was like, it was like a big binder that like zipped up, but like you could keep like pencils and like a bunch of stuff inside of it. Like it had like pockets for everything. And like in today's age, I'll buy that you can hide a phone in there or you can hide like whatever in there. But like in 2004, I thought it was a wild concept to say, don't bring this to school. Cause like, unless it was like an elitist thing, it's like, oh, I can afford a trapper keeper and you can't, because that was a very serious problem at Triton.
I know in 5th grade, we all had to have this specific brand of binder that was essentially the same thing. It was like a binder that would zip up and it had pockets, but that was for extended learning. Gifted kids. It was horrible.
Wild.
Yeah. But,
did you ever have the like agenda things or whatever that you would like write everything down in and they would send it home and your parents had to sign it?
Oh, my parents never had to sign mine.
Oh, my granny and papa had to sign mine every single week.
Actually, they had to sign our reading log, but that was it. And
that was all part of our agenda. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But like ours, I think, was just to say like, oh yeah, we know what homework our kid's doing or whatever. And the way that like, we'll get into this one day, but like I wish I could like Um, this is such a specific memory that my Aunt Tanya and I both have of like sitting at the kitchen table and like my granny would be down and this like happened to us independently and we both corroborate this story for each other. So like we know it happened like to us individually, but like my granny would just be sitting down, like watching like TV or whatever. And my papa would just be up in the kitchen screaming at us about our math homework. And I'm like, he doesn't need to sign this because I had the trauma of him screaming at me.
I do know that some places did that because I was one of those kids that got on like a little bus that took you to a daycare after school. And I distinctly remember this little girl forging her mother's initials every day. Which, like, go off, queen. I don't know. Like, if you're not failing...
I mean, that's my argument is, like, I don't see why the parent needs to sign it if, like, the kid's doing the... You know there's a problem if the kid's not doing the homework. That's the long and short of it.
Like, that is how you know there's a problem. Like... Yeah.
Also, I fully forgot about this. Speaking of my Aunt Tanya, my cousin Taylor started listening to the show. She loves us.
Hi, Taylor.
Josh, I love you. What's next? Have you seen this idea of, and it's not necessarily related to AI, but I think it consistently comes back to AI of people needing to automate and like optimize everything in their lives on TikTok?
Yes. It reminds me so very much of the early 2000s absolute pinnacle cinema Smart House.
Yes.
Which I loved, but do we not remember the end of Smart House?
Yes. Like... Where the mom from, oh God, what was that show?
Was she the mom on another show?
She was the mom on... Fuck, what was that show?
She looks like the mom on Malcolm in the Middle, but I don't think that's her. I can find out.
Don't think she's the mom, or she's please. Okay. She's on Futurama. She's like she's the one-eyed lady on Futurama. And she's also
that's her voice. Not early 2000s. It came out in 1999.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crazy. Actually,
it was the show where like the dad hated his family. It's the dad from Modern Family.
What?
They were married on this show. Her name was Peggy. Hang on.
Known for future... Married with Children?
Married with Children!
That is not my Phil Dunphy.
No. Like the grandpa. Like,
yes.
Yes.
I thought you meant Phil Dunphy.
No. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't know.
Sofia Vergara's husband on.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, she was like ruining lives because she wanted to take over. But like, this all came from. And like there are a lot of things that like I know I get into that not everyone gets into, and I've talked to Em about this before, where like I've seen in like Reddit groups about podcasting, like, oh, are there ways to like automate like the editing of my show? And I love editing the podcast. I love I love all of it, and like and I think this triggered me because like I also saw this like laundry folding robot on TikTok, and this guy bought it and he was like, oh yeah, like I bought it to like automate my life and it frees up so much time for me. And I also love folding laundry. Like that's actually a thing I genuinely enjoy doing. But
you use the Tide cleaners. What?
When I when I pick out my Tide cleaner stuff, I refold all my laundry.
That's absolutely insane. That is insane.
I have a little folding board that I fold everything from. I love it so much, and I won't be attacked for it. Dear listener, I also don't do my own laundry. I take everything to the Tide cleaner, and when I get it home, I refold it and I put it away. But my question is like, okay, so you're automating everything in your life. You're optimizing everything. Everything is so efficient. Like you've no inefficiencies in your life. What are you freeing up your time to do? Like
to scroll on TikTok.
Right, like
I don't know.
And so like and the girls on the deep dive with June Diane Raphael and Jessica St. Clair. They talk about this a lot where it's like I don't want to automate my life. I don't want to optimize. I just want to sit, and like sometimes that's just okay. And like I don't need everything to be a Six Sigma black belt course in lean management.
Right. I have talked about this in my personal life. We have lost the plot on like enjoying our lives in general.
Yes. Dilly-dallying.
Like
frolicking.
Everything is a chore. People are so focused on getting things done that they forget to enjoy anything in their lives at all. And it's sad to watch. Like, just turn on some music while you fold your laundry. You'll enjoy it more.
Or accept that like this is a part of life, and if you don't want to do it, like hire a housekeeper, do whatever you want to do. I don't care about that, but like this is a thing that like normal people do.
Yeah. Do you know what fixed me?
What?
Sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Finish.
No, go ahead.
Is the idea of practicing gratitude. It sounds so corny and so woo-woo until you actually do it. Because like I hate doing the laundry too, but if you sit there and you're like, I'm so grateful to have clean clothes. I'm so grateful to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. It like completely changes the way you think about everything. Like the dishes, that's another thing that's like Sisyphus pushing his boulder. It sucks if you decide to look at it that way. Or you can say, myself and my family are fed, and this is the outcome of that. And I'm grateful to be able to do this.
Right.
It like completely changed how I view stuff like that.
I think that's amazing that like you got there, but I think that speaks to a larger thing of like this obsession with like we have to be grateful or we have to be efficient. Like we can't just be normal people. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's like the work culture we've cultivated in America. That
grind set thing, yeah.
Yeah, because you go to work and for 9 hours a day, let's be honest, no one's working 8 hours. Everyone's working 9.
At a minimum, yeah.
Yeah. The whole time, everything is like, how can you get this done faster? How can you get this done better and faster? It's never quality. It's never, how can we improve the quality of your work? How can we improve your language skills? How can we improve your communication? No, it's how fast can you get this done to an acceptable level? Mm-hmm. And so I think it's like hard to turn that off when you get home.
Well, and it's
not to mention everyone's exhausted when they get home.
Well, that and like what I struggle with is like, because I talked to my doctor about this recently when I had a checkup after I busted my head open, and he came in and he was just like, okay, like, did I answer all your questions today? And I was like, yeah, everything's fine. He goes, and he and I have a very good relationship. Like he's such a good doctor, but he was talking to me about like, yeah, you know, they did this study about if a doctor spends, I think on average 3 more minutes with a patient, satisfaction rates skyrocket with the medical industry. Like, and it's just like, and it doesn't matter like what the doctor did. It's like, did the patient feel heard? Did the patient feel like they were valued? And on the other side of that, these major health conglomerates in Indiana, there are like 3 of them. It's IU Health, Community, and Ascension St. Vincent. And I think there's a Riverview. Yeah. You've got like those businesses that are saying, and my doctor told me this, he goes, I'm expected at most to spend 15 minutes with the patient. Because
it's a numbers game.
Yes.
They want the maximum number of patients, because if you're not going to their hospital, you're going somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And like that's the problem with insurance companies and the whole privatized hospital thing, is that we're not worried about your quality of care. We're worried about getting you in and out.
How many people can we get through the door?
You're a number. Yes. Yeah.
And that for me is, I'm like, where do you find the balance? Because it's like, and it comes back to the same thing of like, where, yeah, corporations are evil, but like they still have to serve the people that are like patronizing them. So I guess for me, it's just like, okay, where do you find the balance of like, of profit and acknowledging that these people are the only reason you have a functioning business?
That's the breakdown for me. Is like, okay, Okay, so you're operating as a hospital in this very capitalist society. So you need to draw people in. As a patient, I am much more likely... You are smacking that thing, too. Have your drink. No, go. Are you muted? Oh. I was, like, just waiting. Okay. No. Okay. Right. So you're a hospital operating in this capitalist society. You need to draw patients into you to choose your hospital. I can only speak for myself, but I am so much more likely to choose you based off of people saying they've had wonderful, careful experiences there versus you saying you had 89,000 patients. Like, I don't care how many patients you had. I care about what people have to say about you.
Do you want to know something I think is wild is hospitals having marketing departments in general? Like, do you...
Well, yeah, because it's like, I understand it to some extent because it's like, I do believe hospitals and healthcare systems should be involved in the community and be accessible in that way, but they shouldn't be running commercials.
No.
If anything, all you need is patient testimonies, and that's it.
Right. But for me, I'm just like, it is wild to me that there are hospitals that are like, we're the number one choice for like X, Y, and Z, like whatever. And I'm like, let me tell you where I'm not interested where anyone's the number one choice of. When I have busted the back of my head open, when I am mid-stroke, I'm like, okay, where can I get to now? And that's...
Yeah, and if anything, if I know that you're the number one that's doing all of this, I'm assuming you are too busy.
That...
Like, that's what you put in my head. I don't know.
But... yeah, and I don't know how we got here from this like whole optimization thing, but like my dear listener, I ask you, stop and smell the roses. Stop and go for a walk. Like, not everything needs to be.
Enjoy your life. You literally get one. If you get more than one, you won't remember this one anyway. Yeah. So please. Like, I just can't understand. I
guess my question is, who is it for? Like, who are you optimizing for? You know?
And let me end with this. I do see the argument for people with disabilities, obviously. If you're in chronic pain or if something is extremely difficult for you to do, I want that to be automated for you.
That's improving the quality of your life.
Yes.
That's very, very different from what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because I didn't want to come off as like ableist, as like, you should fold your laundry.
No, I think, no, that's, we're not saying that at all. But... no, dear listener, if it's improving the quality of your life, yes, please, by all means.
But I do think your average Joe shouldn't be buying a robot to walk his dog. No. You need to walk your dog because you need the fresh air and you need to, like, exist. I also think that would help with, like, being such an individualistic society. You know, we've talked about it before 100 times, but people are only in it for themselves. There's no, like, community.
Okay.
We're back.
What else?
One thing I want to talk about. Have you seen the breakdown that is the canceled podcast?
No, what's happening there? Like, because I keep hearing about it. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so it's two girls, Tana Mojo, who I would be shocked if you didn't know.
I know who she is, yeah.
And then her friend, Brooke Schofield,
yeah.
I think is how you say it. Okay, there was this one clip that really, like, shone a light on everything that's happening.
Sure.
They were talking, and Tana was like, yeah, you pretty much disagree with everything I have to say. And she was like, it's not that I'm trying to disagree with you. I genuinely do disagree with you on everything.
But they were like best friends,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they talked about, like, being a yin and yang is sometimes good. And a lot of times, like, Tana said she needed to hear it. And you're hearing both sides of the thing. So it works. But, like, eventually they just kind of fell apart.
So this is where the clips of like them, or I think it was Tana saying, I just don't want to do this anymore. That's where that all came from?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, Tana's done that like her whole career on social media. I've been watching Tana Mojo for an embarrassingly long amount of time. So like
where does she come from?
Like, she's from Vegas, and she just like started making videos one day, and then she was connected with David Dobrik for a while, but then she was friends with Jeff after that whole thing happened, and then she's just
so like she wasn't on like a reality show or something.
No, okay. She came up completely. Like on genuinely her own. On the internet.
Oh, good for her.
And it's because she's funny and she's very
funny.
Real.
Yeah.
Like she's like, here are my tape and extensions. Let's do them in 20 minutes before I catch a 6 a.m. flight. Like, that's very Tana.
Sure.
And so it's entertaining to watch. It's like, yeah.
Okay.
She would love this. She's like our generation. Not my generation. I'm too old for that. The next generation's Paris Hilton.
Oh, okay.
Where it's just like fun to watch. I'm not saying you should be exactly like her, but she is entertaining.
Sure. No, I like Tana. Like, and I liked I listened to a few episodes, and then like it just.
There's been like a breakdown of.
I think I sensed they didn't really like each other. That's kind of what like I felt when I was listening to it.
I think also Brooke got engaged recently, and so I think they just kind of grew apart, and so they decided to quit doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Another thing I saw is they have not communicated anything about how they're going to do that, because she was like, should I just delete every video of the canceled podcast so I can use this channel for like my vlogs? And Brooke was like, no, where's my AdSense?
Well, so I think that that brings up a kind of interesting point, because there's another podcast. Oh my God. It was Too Much or something like that. I know I said it to you, like when we were starting this whole journey. I very vividly, if I didn't say this, I very vividly remember thinking it. I said, we cannot let us turn into this, where it's like these two girls that were podcasting. One lived in Los Angeles, one lived in Manhattan. And the girl that lived in Los Angeles just locked her, like the other girl, out of all the accounts. And like, do you remember this?
I vaguely remember. Yeah, it was like a year ago or something. Yeah.
And it was like they just hated each other. And I was like, if we ever get to the point where we don't enjoy doing this, like I want to be the first to know that you don't enjoy doing it, and we will either A, figure something out, or B, stop it immediately, because like I don't want us ever to resent each other. And
you're yapping on a microphone. Like, why would you even let it get that? I know why. It's money got in the way. They started making money. But
I don't know that it's a money thing, because like it becomes an ego thing. And I think that the good thing about you and me is I truly believe you and I don't have an ego about most things.
No.
So I think that's probably our saving grace in a lot of things. We're like, we are very aware that we are two idiots talking to, at this point, 300 people on the internet. Like, and we're thrilled to be that.
I think that there's a difference too, like in age. People are going to hate me for saying this, but I feel like if you're like 19 through 23, everything feels so big and so important and so scary that I feel like we're old enough. And we're not old. I'm just saying we have frontal lobes, and
we're 27.
I think I'm genuinely 27, but I think that we're old enough to be like, it's never that serious.
No.
You know what I mean? And like, I do take it seriously. Like, I will sit here for hours every week and record and be happy to do that. But
there's a thing that like,
we should sacrifice our relationship, or I should sacrifice any part of like what I care about for this. Like,
but that's the thing is like, I said, we can never turn into this, and I don't think we ever will. And like, dear listener, if we ever do, just mark this down in your book. Episode 12 is where we were wrong. But like, I feel bad, because I'm like, these were real friends. Like, on some level, these people were good friends that like said, I'm going to put myself on the internet and it fell apart, and that sucks.
That is sad.
That sucks.
But I mean, that happens in real life all the time.
But not for the entire world to see.
Out.
Like, it's like,
yeah.
it takes me back to, and granted, part of this was produced by Fox, but like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, like this was a very real friendship that like fell apart, and it was in Harper's Bazaar, it was in Vogue, it was in all these magazines where it was like, these two people are not Paris and Nicole anymore, and like I cannot imagine what that does to you, like psychologically, like where like
it has to make all of your emotions like more exaggerated to like see what everyone else has to say.
Yeah,
because I do think we're in this era where like everyone is giving their 2 cents, everyone has a hot take, everyone has an opinion, and like at some point you just have to close that out, especially when it's about you,
right?
Like I don't think anyone should be reading all of their comments or anything like that. Like
no.
Anyway.
Are you ready for Reality Roundup?
Yes.
Okay. So
this is an excellent run of the show, by the way.
Before we jump into it, and this is related to, well, one of them is tangentially related to, because it's Bravo, but have you seen Justice for Jax on TikTok and Instagram?
That is Jax Taylor. Jax Taylor is running that account. There is not a doubt in my mind.
So
if anyone can prove me wrong, I will literally be stunned, and I'll send you $20. That is Jax Taylor.
So Jax Taylor has left. Says he left of his own volition, but like he was originally on Vanderpump Rules, and then he went over to the Valley, and he was a demon, horrific monster to Brittany Cartwright, his wife, who he viciously cheated on, threw a table at, allegedly. I don't know if that was ever on camera. I don't know if we like. There's a lot there.
Yeah, okay, but Jax Taylor, like from the beginning in Vanderpump Rules, has just always been
erratic.
If you've never seen him, please look up clips of Jax Taylor.
Yes.
Please. He is a horrible human being, but he is entertainment.
He's entertaining, and he is as hot as the day is long, and that's why he's been given a platform. Yeah. But he is no longer on the Valley. He says he's taking at least a season off. God bless. That's fine. Jax
Taylor does not believe in mental health. Like, I think
no, he doesn't. There's an account though floating around. It's called Justice the number 4 Jax, and it is literally comments on his restaurant page being like, it's the greatest guy. He came around. It's like, do you remember when Donald Trump did this in like the late 80s, early 90s, where he pretended to be his own publicist and he would call people?
Yes.
This is what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
And it's like a pity party. Like, oh my God. Oh my God.
And I couldn't figure out for a little bit whether it was a parody or whether it was Jax Taylor. And I'm just like, you know what? If no one believes in him, at least he believes in himself.
That has always reigned true for Jax Taylor. It didn't matter what he did. I'm an avid Vanderpump Rules fan, especially the early seasons. And it didn't matter what he did. He was in his corner. He would go in that confessional and he would be like, I'm just a man.
I'm just a guy.
I wanted to. You can if you want to.
You can if you want to.
That's very Jax Taylor.
Oh, Lord. The other thing is, God almighty, I'm so happy.
We foretold this.
We did foretell this, and I'm so thrilled. Ghislaine Maxwell is, I pray, being bullied within an inch of her life by one.
We said that. We said that in the last episode, and now it's really happening.
Yes. Like, and I pray that Ghislaine is not sleeping over it. Like, that is what I want. But, so, you know, Jennifer Shah is running these, the Shah Amazing yoga classes in Bryan Federal Correctional Facility.
Yeah, and like little pageants and stuff, too.
And like putting on plays of being the Real Housewives.
I love her so much.
Here's the honest to Christ truth. Jen Shah did some bad shit. Jen Shah is an entertaining person. And if she can say...
I love Jen Shah. I know what she did. She is so funny.
If she can apologize and make retributions to the people she wronged, I can forgive her. I'm gonna
come on. Like, how chic can you be? Love.
But the real thing right now is Jen Shah, who has become best friends with Elizabeth Holmes, and I love that they are just like trying to figure out their next fraud scheme together, maybe allegedly, but like Jen Shah said, Ghislaine Maxwell, you are not welcome in the Shah Amazing yoga classes. And I was like, Jesus Christ, yes.
Yeah, you're not welcome in any of these things that I'm throwing, in any of them.
And I know that like the correction system in the United States is problematic. This is the one time I'm okay with how problematic it is.
Justice is being served.
And like
in this very specific instance.
Right. And like I think you were the one who told me this, that like when it comes to kids, like these women's prisons do not fuck around, and Lord have mercy.
No one is fucking with her.
No.
And I love it. I also love the idea of, do you remember when that tweet circulated around that was like, it's just two dumb bitches telling each other yes?
Yes.
That is what I envision when Jen and Elizabeth Holmes talk about their crimes. They're like, you just stretched the truth a little bit.
What it needed 2 drops of blood instead of 1, Elizabeth.
No one's heard of a little white lie anymore. Like they're gaslighting each other into believing it wasn't that bad. That is what I like to envision.
I think back a lot to the clips that became public of Jen Shah getting on the phone with these telemarketing fraud schemes where she goes, hey, it's Crystal or whatever her name was from so-and-so. And like, I'm just selling you this business opportunity. And like, I want to know like what Elizabeth Holmes has to say about that, because Elizabeth Holmes knows she was lying too.
Oh, I guarantee you she sees that and she's like,
so
God forbid you're a businesswoman.
God forbid a woman does something to get ahead if a man did it.
That is 100% what I envision their relationship to be, and that brings me nothing but joy.
I love it so much.
I think it's the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Okay, dear listener, we're jumping into The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Yes, episode 2, A Snow Mountain of Trouble. So.
I love whoever names these episodes. You're so silly.
I do too. We pick up where we left off, where everyone's at Meredith's birthday party at Jen's house. Jen's having a full-blown meltdown, doing the thing of like, you don't fuck with my family, that whole Teresa Giudice shtick that she's doing.
But she's like different because she's like crying through it.
She's crying through it, but if you look at it and like you're looking at it through the lens of like someone who loves reality TV, you're like, oh, this is someone who produced herself on reality TV. Like that was
100%. She's being as loud and as like attracting the camera as much as possible. You know what I mean? Which is fun. You're in the first season of a reality show you want to be on. I would probably do the same thing to not get kicked off. You have to like establish yourself.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. Heather goes to comfort her, and in the confessional, and this becomes a recurring theme with Heather, and like this is probably the one complaint I have about Heather is you get 2 sides. It's like, I'm comforting Jen, I'm making her feel better, but then she turns around, she's like, this is crazy, this is absurd. And
yeah, I feel like it's the mom in her because she's done that with her kids for so long. You know what I mean? With kids, when you're like, oh man, I can't believe that car rolled like that, and then you turn around and you're like, I don't know what we're talking about. It's like that.
But so Mary walks in to the bathroom as Jen's having her meltdown, and we hear Heather say, it's a privilege to be in Jen's circle, which leads me to believe behind the scenes on this show, Jen was presented as the person that the show is going to revolve around, and people were paying the piper. I feel like that's what was happening here.
Yeah.
But we go around and around and around where it's like you said I smell like hospital. You said I smelled like hospital, and then Mary finally just like, and I do appreciate this about Mary because I do buy that she is this person in real life. She says, "Can we hug it out and call it a day, please? God, can we make this?" I
hated that. I hated that so much. All you have to do is say you're sorry. That's it. And you won't do it. Instead, you'll say, let's hug, and then it'll be over.
Okay, see,
it'll be over when you say you're sorry.
Okay, so in my mind, I think I took that as her saying I'm sorry. I think you're right. Okay,
I think
fair.
I'm just a crazy biatch who will not take anything as saying you're sorry except you saying you're sorry. Like,
okay.
I don't know. Okay. I feel like Jen Shah might agree with me on that.
No,
which is not to say it's
100%. And like, I don't disagree with you, but like in my mind, I was like, oh, Mary's apologizing, like she's just trying to make it go away.
I agree that she's trying to make it go away, but she's like not willing to take any. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, moving on then.
When he talks to Lisa about the bartenders that Lisa gifted for the vow renewal, where they serve Vita tequila, and Lisa I guess Lisa gifted the Vita tequila to the
and hired the bartenders
I guess one of the bartenders, right?
No, I'm pretty sure she like provided the tequila and the bartenders.
Oh, I thought they only... Okay, I was a little unclear on that. Okay.
Yeah, because Whitney's complaining about how the bartenders behaved. Mm-hmm. Like they drank too much or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so that's what made me believe Lisa like gifted her the service of the bartenders along with the tequila.
Right. Okay. Okay. And here's the thing that I saw was that Lisa was incredibly generous. Like in my mind, she gave probably a case of Vita tequila. Like, do I think it was enough for 500 people? I don't know. But like, I think if you send a bottle of tequila, that's generous. Like whatever.
100%. I agree. I felt like Whitney was a little misunderstood in this circumstance though, because I felt like they were both coming from the same place. Funny enough. Lisa was like, please don't talk shit about my tequila. You're going to harm my brand. Yes. Whitney is saying, don't hire these bartenders. They're harming your brand. So yes. I think if it were brought up off camera, it probably would have gone a completely different way. I think they were both trying to protect Vita tequila in that circumstance. Because I don't think I at least did not pick up on any malice coming from Whitney.
Okay, so this is the interesting thing about Whitney. Do I think that she was going out of her way to speak negatively or present Vita tequila in a negative light? No. Do I think that Whitney always thinks before she speaks? Absolutely not.
No. And she definitely shouldn't have brought this up on camera.
No.
You shouldn't have said anything about any type of gift, let alone anyone's brand, on camera.
Right.
However, I feel like she forgets the cameras are there sometimes and just lets it roll.
Absolutely, yes. And that's what I appreciate, because I think what we're getting with Whitney is incredibly authentic.
100%.
The thing that I struggle with, though, was where the conversation went, where she said, oh, well, like they were wasted. Okay, like whatever. I don't think the bartenders were related to her brand at all. I think that Lisa could have had any conversation with Whitney and Lisa would have become defensive and like brought it back to her business because Vita tequila was involved in the scenario.
100%.
And I'll give Lisa that.
And also Whitney never just out and said, maybe don't hire those bartenders anymore.
Right.
Which she could have done, but I felt like that was her point. She just never said that outright.
Has a hard time making her point sometimes. Like, you'll see this as she's trying to find her voice in later seasons. Like, this does become a recurring theme with her. The issue that I had, though, was, like, Lisa brings up, like, oh, well, they got into Justin's top shelf tequila. And Lisa goes, well, our tequila's top shelf. And then Whitney comes back with, well, you know what's funny is we ran out of your tequila at like 6 p.m. And like the way that I would have been like, bitch, you shouldn't have gotten anything.
You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. I felt like this happens a lot in Housewives, to be fair. It all, like, becomes this miscommunication jungle where it gets, like, so much bigger than it ever needed to be.
Right. And
that's exactly what I think happened here.
I had a hard time with Whitney saying that because I'm just like, ooh, you were fine until, like, because if she wouldn't have said the thing about, oh, we ran out of your tequila, like, whatever. And then in the confessional being like, well, like, it's the tequila you can't get in the United States, like, whatever. Like, I thought that was a weird, like, it's tequila. Yeah. It's all made from the agave plant. Like, oh my God. But
yeah, I mean, I know some people really do care about that, but, like, you're in Utah. You guys barely drink. Like, chill.
Like, it's cool. And then Lisa gets triggered because she feels like it's all coming back to her brand.
And I understand that.
Yes.
I do understand that side, too, where it's like, I don't want you to say... This is like what happened on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives with the Jay-Z Styles stuff. It's like, you should not say anything, even hinting towards a negative, about your friend's brand on TV.
Right.
I'll stand 10 toes down on that.
100%.
Unless your friend is, like, drop shipping or doing something
that actually comes up later.
Or doing something really horrible. You really need to, like, just support them.
Right.
Anyway.
But, like, so the party ends by Lisa storming out of the house saying, I don't want trash telling me something's not good. That's where I'm like, oh my God, Whitney, if you just would have been cool, I would have been on Whitney's side entirely about this. Because, like, this does come up where Lisa does treat Heather and Whitney differently than she treats everyone else. Like, full stop.
You can tell she doesn't want them there.
You can tell she's not fucking like them.
Yeah. I feel like there's something to that story that, at least where I am in Salt Lake City, we never really get to the bottom of. Like, Heather has some dirt on her or something.
I don't know that it's dirt. I think what it is, because I have seen this play out in the church, like, where you have born again Christians and then you have people who are, like me, not religious. And you're looked down on as a different class of person. And
but do you think Lisa would do that?
Lisa is very, very into Mormonism. Which, if she wants to be, I support her in that. And, like, you hear a lot about, like...
It's just surprising to me because she grew up Jewish. So it's like... It's like I thought she would kind of have, like, a more objective view. No.
When someone converts from a religion to a religion, like, what you typically see is, like, they are all in. Like, all
I
in.
guess you do really see that with...
Yeah.
Anyway.
The next day, the Shah squad is cleaning up Jen's house, and Whitney's working out and gets into the fact she's had a stripper pole in every house. And isn't it crazy that a born and raised Mormon has a stripper pole? Ha 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 ha. I hate that. I hated that.
If you really, like, look at it for what it is, it's a piece of exercise equipment. Like... Yes, it's used to be a stripper and be hot and sexy. That in your house, that's exercise.
I hate the like
I don't know.
I hate that because it feels kind of like pick me, where it's like, isn't this crazy that I have this? Like, I don't know why that bothered me so much.
I don't know. Like, I'm not like other Mormons.
Yeah,
I'm a cool Mormon.
We go over to Lisa and John's house, and John seems like a really, really good husband, I feel like, but he seems wildly uncomfortable on camera.
Yeah, I think that's all it is, because all he talks about is how much he supports Lisa. He's like, I love that woman. I'll let her do whatever she wants. I'll support any business she wants to do.
He's also hot.
But he's awkward.
So hot.
Yeah, just awkward. And, like, he seems like a little unsure of himself on camera. That's it.
Probably, yeah.
And, like, duh. Can you imagine? Like,
I think what he probably feels uncomfortable with is, like, the Mormon church has never been great about, like, propping up women. And, like, I think he probably feels uncomfortable about how the world and, like, by extension, like, the people in his life are going to view his marriage. Because, like, Lisa Lisa runs the show.
Well, yeah, but he's like, maybe he hasn't been as open about how much he supports that, like, outside of the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I love that for him. He's like...
He's a good husband. He's a great husband.
Yeah, let her do what she wants. I also love that he's not like these Mormon husbands that we see a lot that are like, you need to cook and you need to clean and you need to do this and this and this on top of all of your businesses that you're
that's
running.
not just Mormon husbands.
No, like, it's certainly not, but that's like the highest concentration I've seen.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And it's like, I'm glad he's not like that at all. He's like, I guess we'll figure out what we're doing together. We're going to
Taco Bell.
Yeah, love
I love that. Mm-hmm. If I ever get married, like I truly want a relationship like John and Lisa have, because like they just seem like they really love each other.
I would get married to the both of them.
Heather's out shopping for ski boots with Whitney, and they unpacked the birthday party. Heather says she didn't have any fun, and her feelings were hurt by Lisa, and...
Shocking.
Yeah, like Lisa called Whitney after the so Lisa called Whitney after the party and like threatened to use rumors about Whitney being a swinger against her. Yeah. And Heather gets into, and this is kind of what I was saying earlier, Heather gets into how Lisa feels like she's superior to the other girls, and she feels like that gives her the right to call out what she believes is morally deficient behavior.
Yeah. And I do see that to some extent, where she's like kind of holier than thou. And, like, a little judgy, perhaps. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I still love Lisa. Don't get me wrong.
I do too.
She does come across a little bit judgmental. I also feel like, for some reason, the girls have particularly thin skin when it comes to her. Like, everything Lisa says just makes them bleed. When I feel think like that's probably
rooted in the amount of money Lisa has.
Yeah, maybe. And like she's very successful in her life. Very
successful.
And I don't think it's a jealousy thing. I think it's just more like you want the validation from her and you're not getting that. But like, I don't know, just like let it roll off your back.
I think so this is why I think Salt Lake City is such an interesting housewife city, because not until season 4 do we bring someone on who doesn't have real money, because like all of the women have significant amounts of wealth,
right?
And so the stakes are gone there, and like so it's like who's more successful, who's less successful comes into play a little bit. Like this does come up in season 2 or 3, where Lisa flat out says, "I'm richer than everyone here. I don't need to be here." Like those words come out of her mouth. But what we are finding is like, okay, so like where do the stakes come from? And it's actually how these women feel about each other. I think this is what I love about this city. It's so interesting to me, because I'm just like, oh, we're not fighting over the private jet. We're not fighting over X, Y, and Z, because like everyone's on the same playing field. Yeah. I love it.
Then we go to Whitney's and meet her dad.
Oh yeah, this was a lot. So, Whitney's dad's hair.
Whitney's dad is a recovering addict, and his hair is box dyed black to the gods and standing on end.
Do you know Carrie from Sexy Unique podcast calls Whitney's dad Steve, he calls him Diane Warren, because he looks like Diane Warren from Three's Company.
No.
It is that very specific hair.
I don't know if it's because he used to be a hairstylist. Yeah. Was really successful.
Very successful.
Fell into drugs.
Yeah, and then his entire life fell apart, which is a story I've seen firsthand. Like, I know how this impacts people, so I know what Whitney is going through.
I was gonna make the point he understands an emotional change of the hair.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's what we're witnessing, is he's constantly in his hair.
Yes. Meredith and Seth go to dinner after we get done with the scene with Whitney's dad. In contrast to John Barlow, Seth seems very comfortable on camera.
You can tell that man loves attention. He's like, I am here.
He loves it.
I have arrived.
And so we jump into, and I don't know if we didn't know that much before this. That they
this
were
is
separated.
where you find out they're separated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, it makes me feel like the editing was weird in the first season because like this couldn't have been the way it was meant to be presented. But Seth asked Meredith, who all knows about them being separated? And that's how we're introduced to this topic. And then he asked Meredith if she thinks their marriage is built to last. And I've seen conflicting things about this on the internet. On one hand, I appreciate them being very open and honest about it. And
yeah, because they could have hid it from the show.
They could have hidden it from the show. But then like you have people on the other side of that are like, no, they were producing this for the show. Like this was their storyline. This is how Meredith got on the show.
So.
No, I think this is all very real.
I think, yeah, because you can tell there's real emotion and real thoughts that are being held back because they know they're on camera, especially when we get into the
phone thing? Yes. Oh my God.
You can tell that Meredith is not saying everything she feels, and you can tell she's very aware that she's on camera.
Yes.
And so I think it's very real.
Right. And like, this is something that I have found very interesting because you have two. I know we said we were going to do 2 episodes today. Let's just do the one because I don't want us to like run into time. And like, I want to get into this a little bit.
This is a good episode anyway.
This was. You have 2 real sets of women on Housewives like that. And Bethany Frankel has talked very openly about this, how there are women who come on the show as like to launch themselves into getting divorced. Like Jules Weinstein was one on Real Housewives of New York who they say that she came on just to get divorced. And
listen, if you need a little check, if you need a little,
and I'm fine with that. I'm also fine with if you look at Tamra Judge and her ex-husband in the back of the car, and I think it was season 3 or 4 of The Real Housewives of Orange County, where like he said something and she looked him dead in the face in the back of this car and she said, "Fuck you, I want a divorce." Like, and she has been very open about she didn't know the cameras were there when she was doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with both sides, both extremes on that side of the equation. What I think we have here, though, is these people knew their marriage was on the rocks coming into the show, and I think that they said, "You're getting our real lives. You're getting our real lives."
Yeah, I think that Meredith is mostly okay with sharing that.
Right.
And also Seth is spending a lot of time away anyway for work. You don't get into that yet, but like he is. And so I think that they knew that with all that time apart, they would be able to kind of keep that off the show as much as they wanted to and share as much as they wanted to.
Oh, for sure.
You know, because they're not like always in the house screaming at each other.
Right.
It's not like that.
But, and then we get into Meredith sharing some of the backstory about how they got to where they are. And she's very honest. And I think this is like actually really good for people to hear, where she goes, nothing really triggered it. We moved a lot. There was a lot going on, and we struggle with communication in our marriage. And we started to resent each other. And like, that's a very real thing. And
I'm glad that she shared it because it provides more context for later on in this season. With like when they start to disagree about something, you can tell it's like, how have you guys not talked about this yet? You know,
and
like there's just a breakdown in communication.
Yeah. And I'll buy that. Like every time we feel that is the first time they've ever talked to each other is on camera.
I feel like you can tell because like one of them is taken aback or one of them is like, no, like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, spoiler alert, but they talk about moving. I won't say where. Later on in the season, and it's like, so they're like in a car and it's so blatantly glaringly obvious that they haven't talked about this at all,
right? Well, and it gets to be uncomfortable because you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be hearing this conversation.
Like, I'm intruding on this.
But it's the same thing that we get into with like the phone thing where so Seth gets into the idea of like, I'm so transparent. Like you can look at my phone whenever you want. You can look at my phone. And this, I get both sides of this because there is a conversation around Meredith and maybe she, like while they were split up, she was dating someone else. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where they were with that at this current juncture, but I do know that does get weaponized against her later in the season and then in season 2 and 3, right?
And we'll get into it later. But basically the point that is being made right now is Meredith is like, I don't want to check your phone and I don't want you to check mine.
Right.
And
I can get where like she's very like, that's weird to me. I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I'm like, if it's that big of a deal, just give him the fucking phone if there's nothing in there to find. Like, I get both sides of it. So like, I don't know what the right answer is, but like, I do feel uncomfortable with the fact that they're at a restaurant in Salt Lake City at a very nice restaurant. And Seth is like, let me see your phone. Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone.
Yeah. And like, it gets tense. I will say, in practice, I align more with Meredith.
Yeah.
It does feel like a huge invasion of privacy to give someone your phone. Mm-hmm. Like, because, I don't know, like me and Kenny, like, obviously I'm not cheating on Kenny, I'm carrying his child.
Right.
But, like, I don't want him to have to see my text complaining about him. That's like, I should have the right to vent about him and him not have to see that.
Well, that's not what Seth was looking for.
No, I know.
But like, I get what you're saying.
Like, you don't know what he'll come across. And it's like, it's not always cheating or malice. Sometimes it's just like stuff you wanted to keep private.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I wouldn't want to see what's going on in Kenny's group message with his friends. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather be ignorant to that.
Sure.
So it's like, I typically would fall in with Meredith. Mm. However, when your relationship is on the rocks and you're worried about someone being unfaithful, or you're worried about them in general, I feel like if your partner asks for your phone, you pretty much should, like, just give them the phone.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel about it. I don't like I'm not going to ever just take someone's phone and look through it for funsies. No. But like, if Kenny were like, okay, I feel a little sus about something, can I just look at your phone? I would give him my phone. Right. I don't know. It's hard.
It was hard. And like, but again, I think this was a very real conversation. And like, when we got to the point of like, Meredith being like, let's talk about fun stuff. Like, I was just like, oh, she knows she's on camera and this is the first time they're having this conversation. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can tell, I think they had talked about the phone thing before, but like, I feel like Seth just kind of let it go. And now he had gotten to a point where it's like, why won't you let me see it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. And they hadn't really reached that peak yet.
Right. But I don't think they're producing that for the show at all. I think this is this is all very real feelings.
No. Yeah. I felt the same way. Because like the way they're feeling is very real. Mm-hmm. But I also understand Meredith being like, once you know that Seth is like never around, I do understand her being like, can we talk about something light? Oh, yeah. Can we talk about something good? Like, sure. Use our time together well, right? Type of thing. I understand. It's such a hard relationship to get into because like both sides have a stand.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Spoiler alert: they work out. Like, yeah. I love Seth. I love Seth and Meredith together as much as I love Lisa and John together.
Yeah, I think they're really good for each other. I feel like Seth is a let it all out type of guy, and Meredith likes to keep a lot of stuff kind of stuff down.
Yeah, and I think it's a weird but good balance.
Yeah, I feel like he allows her to be a bit more free with her emotions and what she shares, and she shows Seth how to be an appropriate adult. I don't know.
Speaking of being an appropriate adult, we go to Heather's ski day.
God.
The girls all show up at the ski lodge, but Mary is significantly late because she was waiting for a Chanel coat to show up so she could wear it to ski. And she explains that this is because she prefers to wear brands that don't give you a wedgie, and Chanel is just one of those brands.
Of course.
Like, does the North Face give you a wedgie?
Also, you're tiny. What are you talking about, wedgie? Oh my God.
I don't know. Whitney, Heather, and Meredith all go skiing the real mountain. Lisa, Jen, and Mary stick to the bunny hill, but we get a flashback to this. I also hate these scenes that are like clearly set up for the show. We get a flashback of Jen getting a ski lesson from the Shah squad where she was like running around like on the rollerblades, and it's like, go down that hill or whatever they were saying to her. I hate that, like, that
those
kitschy
scenes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're funny. I think when Giselle does those scenes, they tend to be hilarious.
Maybe it's the execution.
Like,
Yeah.
With Jen Shah is a lot of things. She's not an actress.
No.
You can tell when things are like disingenuous or like they told her to do something, and it's like very uncomfortable.
Yes.
But I do feel like some people are really good at pulling it off.
Yeah.
Giselle, and also there's one other one that I've been like, oh, that was cute, from Potomac.
Monique.
Yeah, probably.
Where it was the binders and like the whole, like she was pretending to be asleep, like she's like very clearly pretending for the show.
Yes, yeah. And it's like those were fine. I think those were funny, but some of them are very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Karen Huger.
Oh no.
Please stop.
No.
Please.
At the top of the mountain, Whitney and Heather unpack their feelings about Lisa, and Whitney says she's known Lisa for a few years, but they have a hard time communicating still. And we get a flashback to Lisa telling Meredith that they need to do a little styling for Whitney. And Whitney goes, well, what's wrong with my style? And the example of them having a hard time communicating is Lisa going, well, your style's a little Utah. And
I know.
You and I have said shit like this to people in real life. And I'm like, it's a joke. Like,
yeah.
But I also
think... But
think...
it's not like Lisa takes anything lightly either.
That's
so it's
fair.
like...
And like if we say something like that, it's like we're very clearly joking, and like I don't think we would ever say it to someone that we actually like look down on and hate.
And like if I genuinely felt that way, I wouldn't say it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if your style genuinely is a little Utah, I'm not saying that out loud.
No.
I don't know.
And then
I do get the vibe.
What?
This is a hot take. I do get the vibe that a couple of them are a little bit jealous of Miss Whitney and how young she is and how beautiful her face is. And that's where I'll leave that.
Okay, so this is a common phenomenon too on Real Housewives, where like the young hot girl is ganged up on, and like because we
saw it with Ashley too.
We saw it with Ashley Darby. We've seen it with the doctor. What is her? The
on which one?
In Miami, the anesthesiologist, the one that Larsa hated. The rich doctor. She was so hot. And we saw it with Stephanie Holman in Dallas. Like, this is a real phenomenon.
Yeah, I do see that for Whitney a little bit.
Yes, I'll buy that that's a thing. Meredith feels like Lisa is trying to be a big sister to Whitney, and since Whitney takes that to be condescending, and I see where Meredith is coming from a little bit, because I think Meredith at the end of the day does assume positive intent from most people.
Especially Lisa, because they're friends.
They're best friends, yeah. And Whitney also talks about how she feels like Lisa is threatening to use rumors against her, but then immediately turns around and says she doesn't care what people think about her. And I'm just like, okay, if you're a swinger, as she calls it, because I hate the way she like leans into the G so heavily.
Yeah, she does do that.
If you're a swing,
speaks a little weird, like in general. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's like the fillings and the hilling and like the like.
Yeah.
But I think that's a Utah thing, if I'm being honest.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's almost like the California girls have like a valley accent. There's something in Utah.
But so we finish that up, and then everyone goes to dinner. The women are 3.5 hours late for their dinner reservation, and I guess the restaurant's about to close. The way that, and you've seen me be this person before, where like if people can't get their shit together and be on time for something, I turn into a demon monster. I hate.
Same way, and I don't know, because it didn't always happen this way. I don't know when this happened, but it's like the new cool thing to be an hour late to everything.
I hate that.
It's not cute. You're not just a girl. You are wasting people's time. You're wasting people's time.
You're wasting people's time.
It.
And it's the most rude and inconsiderate thing. Like, I'll buy if something came up and you're late for a reservation. Like, I can let it slide one time, like, whatever.
No, but people make it their personality that they're late to everything.
Yes, and like this was this was a knockdown drag out fight that on the infamous Vegas trip, I had a knockdown drag out fight with the person who this trip was revolving around, because I was like, we're 2.5 hours late for a dinner reservation, and it was the only thing on this trip that I cared about, and I was like crying over like being late to Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? And I was like, why can we not get our shit together to go to fucking dinner?
Well, I just don't understand it, because it's like, if you found out the day of and like you gotta get ready and you gotta do all this stuff, then I understand.
No, but this was a reservation we had made 3 weeks in advance. Yeah.
Like when you know something has been in your calendar, even if it's just for a few days, you knew this was coming up and you decided not to plan for it, which shows a lack of consideration on your part.
Yes.
That is how I feel.
Right.
You are inconsiderate and you're selfish, and I'm willing to go that far.
Yeah.
And I'm late to stuff, okay? I can be 15 minutes late occasionally.
Sure.
But it's almost always Jack.
Right.
Almost every time.
But that's the thing is, like, your excuse is, I was getting ready. Like, I hate it. I hate that. I was so mad.
Like, I see those posts on Twitter and on TikTok where, like, my dinner reservation is at 6, me at 5:59, and they're like getting into the shower or whatever, and they're like a cute little hamster with a bow on their head. It's infuriating to me. Yeah. What do you mean? Anyway. Okay, moving on. Yeah, they're late.
The restaurant still seats them, whatever. So Whitney starts to talk about how she feels judged by Lisa, and she dances around the word swinger because she feels like if that comes into the conversation starts to revolve around whether or not she's a swinger. And here's my thing. If Whitney's a swinger...
Whitney.
What?
You said Wendy.
Oh, I'm sorry. If Whitney's a swinger, I want Whitney to be a swinger. I think Whitney and Justin are an incredibly hot couple, and I think if there's love to share, I'll share it.
That's beautiful. And also, can we talk about... She's the only one who has brought this to light on the show. Yes. She said Lisa threatened to use it against her.
Not on camera.
Right. She never said it on camera. She's probably not going to use it against you because it doesn't seem like she has a lot of evidence. And you're the one that's like...
You're the only one that's ever said swinger.
Yourself down. Like, why are you doing that? Anyway.
But yeah, like, I don't care if anyone's a swinger. I want you to swing, but like, it feels like...
No, it's not even about that. It's just like...
It feels like we're talking about it a little too much. Like,
right. Are you advertising?
Right.
Like...
And by the way, I'll sign right up.
Yeah. You're
I think
hot.
they're both
Your husband is hot.
They're so hot. And like for a husband that's he's almost 20 years older than Whitney, like Justin's hot.
And he's like the most kind, gentle soul on the show.
I want to hug him. I just want to hug from him.
He just seems so cute. Anyway.
Right. So Lisa says she doesn't judge Whitney because she doesn't care enough to judge Whitney. And I thought that was the most cunt thing anyone could ever say. I loved that.
Yeah, but it felt like it was just pure venom. Like she doesn't actually mean that. She was just...
Oh, I think she absolutely meant it.
I don't think so. I think she has some weird reason she does not want to be associated with her or Heather. And that in itself means you care about her a little too much.
Okay,
she's living rent-free in your head.
That's fair. Heather says she doesn't feel like there's been loving kindness between her and Lisa says her intent is always good and she's okay with how the group perceives her.
Yeah, she seems like she went into this dinner. If she were a porcupine, all of her quills are up.
Yes. It also feels like she went to media training. Because, like, if you hear how she, like, markets... I mean, she owns a marketing company. So, like, she's marketing herself as, I'm a good person. And you know I'm a good person. And I don't think Lisa Barlow is a bad person. Let me just say that. I'll go on record saying that.
I just said last episode that she's my favorite on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, I love her.
But it feels like she's trying to convince other people that she's good.
And why?
I don't know.
She's like,
it's a weird dichotomy that we're seeing.
She's being very defensive for no reason.
That's the word, yes.
And you know what it kind of gives?
What?
Not as bad, and I don't hate her for it nearly as much. She's ultra defensive, just like Demi on the last season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yes, she is.
Like, you can't say anything to her without her being like, ah!
But what you will see, and this is what really starts to bother me about Lisa Barlow, is like she does the same thing Demi does, is she gets loud. Like it's like if we're fighting, whoever is the loudest wins.
Right.
And that, I'm just like, you've lost the plot, babe.
I also don't feel like she goes into these conversations with the intent of solving anything.
No, because she's right.
Right.
That's just, that's, as far as she's concerned, she is correct.
She wants to prove to the other girl and America that she is correct. She's not going into these conversations being like, I want to fix our relationship or anything like that. And that does bother me. Because you see it big time once we get to the reunion of this season.
Yeah.
She just... Oh my God.
I'll tell you, it gets worse next season. Yeah, it gets real bad next season.
Yeah, I've started season 2. I don't know why she's like that.
I don't either.
I loved her before she started that whole show.
I would love to be friends with Lisa Barlow. Like, let me just tell you right now, I would love to be friends with Lisa Barlow. I think she's probably one of the most incredibly generous people out there. I think she's probably so fun to be around, and I think she's probably incredibly funny on and off camera sometimes.
I just wish she knew that she was likable without having to yell about it.
Yeah, like, because it seems like she's trying to prove something. Right, yeah.
It's like, I wish you understood that you are so much more likable when you are chill.
Yeah. But then, to close out the dinner, we get into a text thread where Lisa sent a thumbs up emoji to Lisa, and Lisa interpreted it as a fuck you.
Whoa. Who, you said Lisa sent a thumbs up to Lisa.
No. Heather sent a thumbs up to Lisa, and Lisa interpreted it as a fuck you.
Yeah.
Did I not write that?
No, that's what you wrote, but what you said out loud was Lisa sent a thumbs up to Lisa.
Okay. Sorry. Heather sent a thumbs up emoji to Lisa, and Lisa interpreted it as a fuck you. And this is a Gen Z thing that I've had fights with one of my cousins about this, where I'm just like, that's not what it means. It just means okay, whatever. And like, can it be seen as like whatever? Jesus Christ, it's a fucking emoji.
I feel like it has the same energy of saying K.
Sure.
Like that's what it is. The Gen Z version of is like I don't know. Especially if you say something like emotional or apologetic or something like that, and instead of having anything thoughtful to say, you react to it with a thumbs up. That is a little bit like shady.
Sure, but then we get into fighting about an emoji, and Lisa literally says out loud, "Don't diminish the thumbs up." Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's the drama. I do feel like it probably took Lisa a lot to like send that text in the first place, and that's why she wanted like an honest answer, and I'll give her that. But like, take the answer you're given, Lisa. Just be like, if anything, be like, I wish you would have accepted my apology, or I wish we could have talked that out, and then drop it.
Right. But then here again with Heather, it's how we started the episode. It's how we're ending the episode. Heather's like, that's not what it meant. That's not what it meant at all. She gets into her confessional. And again, I love Heather Gay. I wish I had a mom like Heather Gay. I think
it's so funny when she does this, but it is messy as fuck.
Exactly. Where the producer goes, the thumbs up emoji, and Heather goes, it was absolutely a fuck you. Oh my God, Heather.
And there's something to be said for like trying to calm the situation at hand and being like, it's just a thumbs up. Don't freak out. Like,
it's gaslighting. What she is doing is gaslighting.
Yes, she is gaslighting. And I understand. It's so funny.
So I'll ask the same question.
I think it's so funny. She does that so many times this season, too.
She does it the entire series.
Every time she talks to Jen, she says something to Jen, and then she turns around and she's like, "Eesh."
It's an honor to be your friend. It's okay. It's like, hey, pretty bird. Like, it's like, it's very that. And then it's, she's out of her fucking mind. Yes. So I asked the same question last week about who you'd want to be friends with from this cast. Has that answer changed this week?
So I still will stand behind Lisa Barlow, I think, because at this point in the show, she's my favorite.
Okay.
However, she is on thin ice for me after this episode.
Okay.
I was still 10 toes down for her the first time I watched this, though. I was like, yeah, I still like you.
Yeah.
This was the first episode I remember watching where I started getting hard eyes for Whitney, though.
Okay.
I just think, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Who would you be friends
Heather or Lisa?
Yeah. I don't think I really got on the Heather Gay train until later in this season when she starts talking about some heavier stuff. And I was like, oh, I really like you.
Yeah. I think my favorite moments with Heather are where she's just being the best mom on God's green earth. I'm like, oh, this is where you really shine. Because, like, you... Yeah. Even if you're a little bit messy, even if there's some problematic stuff with, like, how you're separating from the church and, like, you're processing some of that, even with all of that, you are still the best mom on God's green earth. And that's not to say that anyone's less of a good mom, because I think this show is nothing but good mothers. Heather is an incredible mom, though.
Yeah, I think she just really gets it. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk about her more later in this season. I actually really, really love Heather Gay. Like, would take a bullet for Heather Gay. Yeah. But I don't think you really see it until later in the season. Like, after this episode, I was kind of like, she's messy. But
I think that's what I liked about her.
Yeah. No, I love that she has that side to her. She's like very real. I think to generalize her as a person, she is so amazing. Like she is so real and like outstanding from the rest of the cast.
For sure. Well, dear listener, that brings us to the end of another episode of Bestie Approved. From Indy to, where did we get new listeners? Argentina, Australia, everywhere. We love you. We're so happy you're here. Like us, rate us, comment, share us with your messiest friend.
Send me an email. Love you.
Love you.